What's tea?
Hello, y'all. Whistle. It's another episode of OD Podcast. You know what I noticed since we've been recording via Zoom is when we were recording in studio, we had an intro. We was like, "Whistle, this is Alicia and this is Draco." That has not been on the episodes because I had started editing in iMovie, and I'm not putting up video no more. So it take way.
Also, dang, I just got just for name.
I put it up today. How about that? But that's it. It just take way too long to put up YouTube videos. I'd be in the timeout. It just be too much. But I just didn't put it up for the last episode. But anyways, when I was editing in GarageBand or Logic, it would have the preset intros and stuff like that. So anyway, I saw you was outside last week. Explain.
Oh, so glad you brought it up so I can just tell you what a dumbass I was. You hear that?
No.
So last week I went to Port Calvin's. This was on Sunday. I went to Port Calvin's. After Port Calvin's, I went to Traffic, which is another little brunch spot turned day party kind of thing.
Where is that in Midtown?
Yeah, it's like right across from Opera kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
So I went to Traffic. So many people in there. It was so hot and just disgusting. So then Wednesday was Najee's birthday. So we went to Korean barbecue, and then afterwards we went to the Marquette. The worst decision I could have ever made. I feel like Corona was in the building, and she definitely got on me.
Wait, was that the white party at Marquette?
No, that was on Sunday.
So you went on a Corona tour. Got it.
I went on a Corona tour.
No, what made you feel like that? Is it because it was just so packed and hot?
I'm gonna tell you what happened. So when I left there on Wednesday, I was cool. The next morning, I was kind of scratchy a little bit, but I had to go to work. So I was, whatever. I'm like, I'm just going to, take my little vitamins, whatever case may be. And then over the course of the days, my throat started hurting. Then Sunday, I went to the day party on Saturday. Sunday, that was a white party on Saturday. Sunday, I had to go to work. When I got to work, I tried to drink some coffee. Because I was feeling just like so out of it. I was feeling queasy. So at first I'm thinking, am I hungover? But I didn't even drink that much. And I'm like, I did kind of drink a lot, but I'm like, I don't.
But you know how your body is when you drink. Like you probably know.
Yeah, like I don't know, because I don't drink brown. So I was drinking brown on Saturday. So I'm like, maybe that's just brown liquor reacting. But I had a slight cough. I had a cough. I had a headache. My body was kind of aching a little bit. My throat was hurting. And my stomach was hurting. So when I got home, I told my roommates, right, what was going on. Guess what they said?
They felt the same way?
Everybody felt the same way. Called Terrence. He felt the exact same way. I said, we got COVID, period.
Yeah. Dang, so what you gonna do?
I don't know. I honestly, once I figured that out, we all just kind of looked at each other, and then we was just like, no. Like everybody was like, that can't be it. And then
that's what y'all didn't want it to be it.
Yeah. So I ended up just going to I was just reading online like what you should do along with quarantining yourself. But I ended up just getting some Pedialyte because they said you need to stay hydrated because that's like the number one.
Just flush your body out.
Yeah. Elderberry, I took some elderberry, and I didn't take no Theraflu, but I just been taking vitamins and Pedialyte. And honestly, I don't even feel sick no more.
Yeah, well, if you want to be safe, I think they
luckily I don't have to go to work until Saturday.
Okay.
So up until then, I'm just gonna stay in the house.
Yes, please do. That's. I mean, I'm sorry.
I think that. I mean, you
had a weak moment.
Girl, I was tired of being in the house, and
you had a long week moment.
I had a long week moment. It was people's birthdays and stuff, and then I just.
I get it. I've been very, very anxious just from being in the house. I'm getting. It's to the point. I'm
don't do it.
Oh, listen. Oh, you ain't got to worry about me. I ain't been nowhere. But I mean,
Don't do it.
I have left the house for specific things. Like if I need to pick up like a drive up order at Target or something like that. I went inside of Sprouts the other day, but they be empty all the time, so that really wasn't an issue. But anyway, I just been super strict. But I will say when I'm out and I see people just enjoying regular life, I'm like, am I tripping?
Yeah, because then also we was trying to figure out like, okay, it could be that, but also it's been raining and it's been getting really cold.
Yeah, so it could
So
be the
it'll be
body
hot,
adjusting.
huh?
Your body could just be reacting to that.
Yeah, that's what we was like. I don't know. So that's why I kept saying I think I might want to go get a test, but
Yeah. Well, I
it's
do
a
know one
mess.
thing. I don't know if they still doing it, but my friend said that she went to Georgia Tech and they let her take her own test. I think I told you this earlier.
Yeah,
So, because a lot of people's problem is they don't like how far the administrators put the swab up their nose, and it was just uncomfortable. But I think if you can do it on your own terms, maybe that's helpful. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I do feel like whether you have it or not, it's like just stay in the house unless you get really bad, side effects. But it is kind of like a peace of mind if you get tested and find out you don't actually have it. So it's kind of
yeah. So I'm definitely staying in the house. I do have to work, but I'm definitely taking my N95 mask.
and keep your hands
And
clean.
yeah, I got a fucking Barney bag full of hand sanitizer and sanitizer spray. I got all this stuff. I went and bought some more because yeah, that was a
Yeah.
crazy scare.
Well, you play stupid
So
games, you
now I
win stupid
know
prizes. So
I went too far. That's what it was. I don't know. I should stay my ass home. So now I know. Sit my ass
well, you
down.
had been preaching that this whole time. So when I seen, I was like, oh
I
wow.
think that what it was is that I just personally didn't see any rises in the cases. So in my head or in my defense, I'm like, okay, maybe it's going down and maybe it's a little bit safer to go outside, even though it's not confirmed, no cure or whatever the case may be. But I just felt like it was going down. Like I didn't see any new cases. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, well, I've been looking at it every single day, and there have definitely been more cases. And next week is going to be the real kicker because after these protests have kind of simmered down a little bit, people who have probably gotten tested, those will be reported. But I mean, I get it, especially when it seems like things have kind of like lowered the statistics have lowered a lot. But the thing is, even though it might be low amounts of cases, that don't mean those cases ain't around you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
just gotta, I get it though. You had a weak moment. That's all I'm to. Don't do it again. Don't do that. Black business of the week. Ain't black business of the black business of the black business of the week. Yeah. So this week's black business of the week is from a tweet that I actually went a little viral with on Twitter. You did what I'm saying. Follow me on Twitter
Go.
at Alicia_. I think that's my
Don't
Twitter.
follow her. She really don't want y'all to follow her. She just saying it because it's the
You
proper
work for
thing
my
to say.
company, don't. Anyway, so no, so when me and you, we both used to stay in these apartments in Marietta, right? So when I stayed in Marietta, I used to always complain like, man, these beauty supply stores over here don't have nothing, man. All they got is this. So this was in 2014. So when I was living out here, it was 2014 to 2017. I would go all the way to Greenbrier or Camp Creek to go to the beauty supply store because I know they got everything. So, but when I
Yeah.
got tired of driving out there, I would just go to this one beauty supply store that's down the street from my house off Cobb Parkway, and they didn't really have a lot, but it got the job done, I guess you could say. Well, it wasn't until I left and came back that I found out that in that same parking lot of the beauty supply store I went to on Cobb Parkway, there was actually a Black-owned beauty supply store called Atlanta Beauty Depot, and
Okay.
I had no idea that Black owned, Black operated, and they've been there since 2002, I believe. So we're looking at about
Oh
18 years
wow.
in business, and they are very friendly. They have everything. I mean, everything. You hear me? But anyway, so I tweeted this, and it just went crazy. And somebody told me that they went in there and told the owners that they came in because they saw it on Twitter, and they were like, "You like the 10th person to say that." So run me my free flat irons. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really am happy that happened. They got that traction because there is a beauty supply store in that same parking lot, and this beauty supply store, y'all, if you go to the Juicy Crab on Cobb Parkway, it's in that same plaza, except it's on the
Which is
opposite.
closed for COVID-19.
Yeah, that ain't a Black-owned business though. But So this beauty supply store is at the very end of the plaza, right behind the IHOP. So you don't really see it. It's not like when people go to that end, they might be going to Bruce's or they might go to IHOP. But if you get a chance, just check out the Atlanta Beauty Depot beauty supply store. You'll notice it has the Beauty Depot part uses the same font as the Home Depot, so it's an easily identifiable landmark. But they really are very friendly. It literally is black operated. You might go to Beauty Master in Camp Creek. You got some black girls working in there, but these are grown women. Looks like a family. They work. They operate. They super friendly. I mean, it's just. And these are people, one thing I think was really cool about this location is because they're black women, they can give you advice on hair products because they have the same experiences that we have. It's been plenty of times. I remember one time actually in the beauty supply in that beauty supply store that is in that same parking lot. I went there before with some flexi rods in my hair, and the lady literally asked me like what they were and what were they for, and she showed them to me. She was like, "Is this what you have? What is?" I'm like, "You don't get your."
The lady who worked there?
Yes, I swear to God. And I had to like show her a YouTube video real quick on like how to apply them. She really didn't know what they were. She just sold them and she knew that was popular. But yeah. So I only go there now. I've told other people about them. But if y'all get a chance, it's not that far outside of Atlanta. If you go to the Battery, if you go to SunTrust Park, if you go to Juicy Crab, if you go to Cumberland Mall, you already there.
Yeah.
Just drive a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to check it out. I normally go to Chapel Beauty.
Okay.
The one that says South DeKalb.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's black owned, honestly, but they do hire black people, which is kind of rare because I never see, unless I go to a Beauty Master in Camp Creek.
That's the only one I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Beauty Master. Oh, and Greenbrier. Beauty Master Camp Creek and Greenbrier. They do have black employees, but
you know why? Because it used to be Super Beauty.
And it used to be Circuit City, but we ain't gonna take it that far. But yeah, I don't think it's black owned, but that's the one I go to. But if I'm in that area, which I do plan on moving in that area, I'll probably just start going there.
Yes, please do. And it might be an extra track, but I've grown to be so passionate about black business over the last few years that I really do go out my way to support. So, you might need a new pack of weave every so many months. It's not gonna hurt you to just, this is what you do. Yeah. Plan everything around that trip. You want to go to Juicy Crab? Sure. It's not black owned, but it's black adjacent.
Yeah. I worked on over the weekend. I worked on set of 2 music videos. So I worked alongside of another makeup artist. Her name is Melissa, and she is Mexican. But she just, we had like a really long conversation just about supporting black businesses. And she was just saying, how important it was for her to just support local businesses, especially when it comes to cosmetics. She was like, I don't really, she has products that of course are bought out of Sephora or Ulta or stores like that. But she said, she just try to support people that she know. Like if she knows somebody that sells eyeshadow palettes or lashes or whatever the case may be, she makes it her point to support them and support, people around, because she said, you just never know. She said, these white companies just take our money. They don't support us for real.
We never hear from them again, except the thank you on the receipt.
Exactly. Yeah. So, she brought a good point. I mean, and it wasn't something that I was necessarily blind to, but it just kind of opened my eyes and was like, because I'm a person that I like to, especially when it comes to cosmetics, because of the field I work in, I definitely try to buy stuff that's quality. So if I can't touch it, if I can't like play around with it, or if I know that it's not of good quality, or if I don't know, I can't buy it. But I'll spend money on makeup just because this is my profession and I want it to look perfect. But
yeah, that's a business thing. I get it. It's some stuff, but think of it like food. You go to a restaurant, it look good. You don't know how it's gonna taste. If you don't like it, send it back. People have return policies.
And they have black luxury makeup brands. Pat McGrath being one of them. So
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And to throw this out there, Pat McGrath is actually the first black person to make $1 billion off of her cosmetics line before Kylie. And
Kylie ain't black anyway. But yeah, okay, cool. So y'all make sure you check out Atlanta Beauty Depot on Cobb Parkway. It's considered Metro Atlanta, but low key is Smyrna, but don't act like it's far, y'all. Don't play with me. It's 18 minutes from the west side, okay?
It's not that far from me. It's probably like, I'm in Decatur. I'm on the east side. So that's 20 minutes for me. 25.
Yeah, I feel like most places that are off 285 are close to everybody.
Yeah, I'm 285 and 20, so you know.
Yeah, and we got 75 right now. So don't make no excuse. Next time one of y'all say y'all went to the beauty supply store, I'm gonna ask you which one you went to. And if I find it ain't black on, you gonna just have to find out when you tell me. Sorry, what we got in Shop Town?
I think you had a shout out today. Well, for one, before we get to that one though, what about that damn Insecure episode?
Issa Rae shook the table this season. This was a phenomenal season.
Let me just say this. I was yelling at that TV from the beginning to the end of the episode, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was yelling at it. I don't even know where to start because I think that it just really inspired me. I love how Issa, for one, she approached Nathan with how she, how she was moving forward with Lawrence, and she just expressed to him like, how since they were back together that she doesn't feel like they should really communicate that much because it'll be too, become
conflict of interest.
And I feel like, I don't know about other people, but I feel like people don't do that, especially in my community. People don't do that. People don't
either. People feel so entitled. They want it that way for them, but they don't want it like that for their partner. People like the idea of a backup plan, which I don't think is cool. But I get it. I do get the idea. Yes. But if you are serious about something, especially considering Issa and Lawrence, it's like stop. Like you know what this is.
Yeah. But I remember seeing people tweet like 2 episodes ago that Condola was pregnant. That
I said it right here on the show. Remember, I
said,
You was like, Lawrence was like, nah, they talk. I said, yeah, they talk, but they don't mean.
I remember.
Let me make this point. I don't care what the history is. I don't date men with kids. Bye, Lawrence. On to the next, and that's just me. Now I don't know if Issa gonna do that because you never know. She might, Condola might change her mind and get an abortion. But I am not anti-abortion.
Yeah.
So 3 points I want to call out from the episode. I'm glad that they didn't really say it yet. I'm sure they'll address it next season, but Tiffany experiencing postpartum, because that is a very, 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 very common issue that women deal with after giving birth. It's so interesting how Molly went back to Issa after she ain't got no man no more. And then she was ready to fight for her relationship with Andrew instead of trying to fight for her friendship with Issa. Or she could have done both with both of them, but you can see where her value, her priorities are. And then with the Lauren and Issa and Condola thing, it sucks. And I'm glad that they showed Lawrence reacting that way, because it kind of adds a little nuance, because ideally people be like, oh, we ain't together no more, I want an abortion. Okay, cool. But in this situation, it's not that he don't like her. He just was not. Y'all didn't plan to have this baby. Y'all not together no more.
Y'all didn't plan to have this baby, and y'all wasn't together that long. But in reality, it's like y'all both grown. Y'all know what you knew the precautions that you was taking. So I mean, it's like
they do. But what do you do when one person want the baby and one don't, and the person carrying the baby is the one who want it? Because obviously it's pro-choice, but I do believe, obviously, my body, my rights, but what do you do if the daddy, like, cause she was like, you don't have to be there. I wouldn't want that for my child. Like, don't say that. It might be, like, I've read a lot of tweets from women who said that they want the baby more than they want the man. I totally understand that, but I think it can be really unhealthy to want to be a single parent. Like, it might seem like, oh, I got this, but there's some long-term effects of that. And for me to grow up and find out my mom might have told my daddy, you ain't got to be around.
Yeah. For the longest, I said I wanted to be a single parent for years.
Man, it's not easy, and I've never even been a parent, but I think that's so.
I always say that I wanted, like, I wouldn't mind being a single parent of 5 kids. I don't care.
Okay, Jesus Christ. People be having a father in the house and a mother in the house, and they don't want that. I just think that it's one thing to feel like you can afford and you're stable enough to take care of a child by yourself, but it's just so much more that goes into developing a human being that one parent cannot do for both. It just is what it is. Nothing you can do, but it's nothing about being a man or being a woman. It's just, it's like, what's the point? Like, it's just kind of like having a friendship. You don't need friends, but having friends are conducive to a healthy life and making proper decisions. You know what I'm saying? It's just way deeper than that. And I think that it can be really damaging to want to put a human being that's going to grow up in a situation like that. Babies are not just to be cute.
Yeah.
Like, this is a real thing.
I'm also kind of glad that that Andrew broke up with Molly.
Me too.
And only reason why I feel like that is because I feel like Molly keeps brushing off her outside issues outside of her relationship, and I feel like she's using the relationship as a crutch, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
she's using it as a crutch. So shit ain't going well over here, but she know that she can come home to a man, so she not worried about that.
Yeah.
She don't care about fixing no other friendship because she got her man. And I feel like a lot of people think like that, but realistically, it's like you gonna need somebody outside of him.
Yes, and that's not healthy. Your partner should not be your punching bag. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you need some healthy outlets, and you can't be that invested in somebody else that you don't even have nothing else going on for yourself.
yeah, it was a mess. So
Yeah,
I was glad that he did that. She looked stiff, but I knew that once they broke up, I said she finna get cool back with Issa.
yeah. And
I already know.
look what happened. And you know, she had a
I
little
already
moment
know.
when Issa was talking to what's the friend, the baby daddy name? I mean, the husband name, Tiffany's husband name.
Um,
When they were on the bus, and Issa was like
his name
consoling
not Mark,
him.
is it? I feel like it's something like that. It ain't Mark.
I don't know. We're just gonna say Tiffany husband. Sorry, buddy.
Uh,
But no, yeah, she like Marley was probably thinking like, dang, you right. I don't even know what to say
oh
to
yeah,
him.
when he was like just expressing his feelings, and she probably was like, damn,
Right.
this
And then Molly didn't have anything to contribute. She just was like rubbing his back.
yeah, she a weirdo.
Weirdo. Anything else on
Oh yeah.
Insecure?
Mm-mm.
Shout out to BBR non-insecure listening listener. But
Okay, sorry.
all right.
Oh, you said you wanted to talk about what now?
B Simone. And the B is for never wrote a book. No, long story short, you know what's so funny? People, I saw this tweet from Meek Mill talking about all right, let's back up. B Simone did a couple things, okay? First, she was in her Desi Banks bag about the protest. And
Yeah,
okay, sure, a lot of people were, so we let it slide because you got educated, or so you say. Then she went this whole I'm holier than now, I might as well be the Virgin Mary type to the BS, and was talking about how she can't be canceled by an app, knowing her whole career was built around an app. You know what I'm saying? So she just was in her y'all can't tell me nothing because I made it bag. And then after that happened, people was dragging her all week, and then somebody who bought her book or someone's friend bought her book made a video like showcasing the poor quality of the book. Like the book literally was like a funeral
yeah, it
pamphlet,
was
like a program.
sliding.
Yes, it was
Mm-hmm.
like a stapled together book, and it was one of those things where the page is not bound all the way up and down the spine. It was just like stapled twice in the middle. And then she goes in and looks at it's like screenshots of these like super generic emails. It had like teacher style templates in it, just all this stuff. And it just to me, it's not a book. It was more so like a workbook
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
So anyway, then as if that was not enough, she got drugged for a few days for that. People who so it turns out that she actually copied the content of her book verbatim, same design, same verbiage, same bullet points, same everything from other people who are not as popular or big as her. And so people drug her as they should have. You know what I'm saying? You don't. And then, oh, hold up. Then she went on a Nick Cannon show talking about how she don't want to date a guy with a 9 to 5, which I didn't really have a problem with that. And you gotta be an entrepreneur. Gotta have an entrepreneur mindset. Rah 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 rah. So now she's setting the bar high for herself. Like she really be getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah.
we found out you don't copy the book. So like, what's the mindset you talking about, sis? You know what I'm saying? And so it's just really funny to me that number one, I always felt like these large content creator influencer people, they always steal from the lower level people. That's just I see it all the time. Like I've seen so many like videos, like skits that people have done, and seen people, and I'm not gonna drop their name because they haven't done it to me just yet, and I might want them on the show. But they would do the exact same skit or to follow the same. I'm just like, are you too busy to create content, even though you're a content creator? Like, where does that come from? But anyway, I just want to give we don't really have this segment, but the clown of the week to B Simone, because I'm sorry, sis, you dropped the ball, and she tried to own up to it. But you know what's so funny? Her manager was like, we have a lawsuit going against the design company. Don't
And they
y'all
said that the
worry.
design company was hers.
Exactly. Your manager owns the design company. And when does the design company become the book writer? You get what I'm saying?
And the design and Miss Skittles, who's her manager, was sued by Disney for um using Disney characters for her clothing line. And I don't know if you're familiar with her clothing line, Cupcake Mafia.
Yes,
It
I just learned that this week.
it was a thing. Like Cupcake Mafia had a store in Stonecrest. They had one in Model, Georgia, and they had one in Buckhead. Like it was a big thing.
I remember them, but I never went to their stores before. I did also see, I don't know if it's the same thing, but she was on Court TV too. She had got
No, that was a whole different thing. So
she got sued for fraud. Basically, I think she tried to dispute, like she didn't want to pay a promoter back for an event, and she lied. The judge caught her in a lie. Number one,
it's just so much that like she just got B Simone just got to take the L.
She got to take the L, and she got to take some responsibility because I don't know about anybody else, but number one, the quality of that book, I would not have even bought that if I was a consumer. So why would I sell that to somebody? It's like got emojis, and you can use emojis, that's innocent, but it just kind of takes away from the city. You're talking about manifest, okay? And then your whole platform, let me get back to the 9 to 5 thing. Your whole platform is about needing a man, but you out here talking about manifesting a man. Sis, maybe you ain't doing it right. Cause where he at? You did all you did to get the baby attention.
Listen, she got it.
Did she though?
He was on the cover of her book, wasn't it?
No, she was in his music video.
And he was on the, wait a minute, pull up the cover.
It's just a picture of her.
What about the picture with her hugging the dude and it was him?
No, that was from the video shoot when he was sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was from the video shoot. Where you
that's how you know I don't keep up. I'm not an Instagram comedian. Follower.
Honestly, and this is not to sound like a hater. I've never been a fan of hers. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but
shout outs to J. Cole and Desi.
Oh yeah,
and Young Barbecue.
Oh yeah, definitely Young Barbecue.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with the rest of them though. It don't be no shade. I mean,
it's a lot of them, and I feel like we're not their target market. So we grown, we older than her.
And Charlene, but Charlene ain't. She been off the scene for a little minute.
Yeah, she do what she want when she want it. I do like Miss Charlene though, because I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, my thing is to anybody out there, no matter how big or small you are, do the work. If you're gonna write a book and find out what it takes to do the thing that you're trying to sell to people. Because I think it's kind of messed up to find out that I could have just Googled this and got the same information. You're kind of selling the drug. It's like these girls who brunch things. It's like half of y'all is running business off of drug money, so you can't tell me nothing about how to start a business from the ground up when you ain't even do that. The only thing from the ground up is the money that you hid in the ground, so the police don't pull it up. You get what I'm saying?
Siri, Google money laundering.
You get what I'm saying? And you know what the thing is? There's a target market for everybody, so I can't even be mad at them for taking advantage of the opportunity. But it's not fair to steal from people when you like you literally didn't even try to hide the information. But you know what? We'll see how this unfolds in the future. I would never get a manager name after some candy, unless it was on a birth certificate.
Miss Skittles. I used to work for Miss Skittles.
Okay, well, you don't got to share an opinion. I don't know her.
I don't know. I listen. We are a honest platform, and honestly, if you put yourself out there in the public, you deserve. I mean, not necessarily deserve, but
you signed up for unsolicited opinions.
Yeah, because if it was me, they wouldn't hold back on me.
Right, and I so much more I want to add to this topic, but I don't really want to drag it out. But just I know this ain't.
I actually didn't join in on the dragging of B Simone because, for one, I don't know. I just don't be feeling comfortable doing people like that. But I
don't drag people either. I do retweet something if it's funny now.
Yeah, of course, but I don't get online and drag people. I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, me either. That's weird. I mean, it's not weird, but
yeah.
And this,
I do feel like she was
injury. Oh, sorry, huh?
I just feel like she was very wrong for that. I mean, I don't know.
Right, and and my thing is, and this just to get back on it one time. This book is about manifesting that you wrote from the heart. What did you write? The caption?
Okay.
Then she put out a video way before the book launched about, hey, my book is almost ready, but I really like to make sure my stuff is ready and good to go and everything is perfect. It's delayed a little bit. I had to make some changes. Girl, what change did you make from matte finish to glossy finish?
Okay. Why do you have to take us so far?
I don't listen, I don't play about good service.
Okay? I make sure that my service is A1 because of you. People because the way that you leave your reviews and the way that you read reviews and you do customer complaints if needed.
If and when I do good feedback and bad feedback. Yeah. I just want, if I'll go to work as stressed out as I be at work, you want my money? Oh, it need to be worth my while. Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
All right. What you want to talk about today?
So, in honor of Pride Month, even though we are in the middle of of a pandemic and also a race war and police brutality, all this other stuff, we are also fighting against transphobia, homophobia, all of this type of stuff. So I did want to kind of shed light on it because I see certain issues from the Black community in specific. So today we are talking about the Black community. Well, I am anyway. Not saying that it only happens in the Black community, but I notice it happens a lot. Just yesterday, it really pissed me off. One of my friends, she DM'd me she's very open about. I don't want to say I don't force it, but I always let my female friends know how important it is to be an ally for the LGBT community if you are going to support me. If you're going to support my business, if you're going to support me, and if you want me as your friend or whatever the case may be, that means you have a friend or a family member, whatever you consider me in that community. So I feel like um, you should be an ally for that person, because what if I get killed for being gay or something happened to me? Then it's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody deserves that right. So a guy in Atlanta recorded himself, or somebody recorded him walking up on a Black gay couple because they were holding hands, and he beat them up.
Oh my God! In Atlanta?
Yeah, I got like she sent me. And that's the thing. It's not even going viral or nothing. It's just like, and he put it on his page, and he made it the caption, "It's my birthday, and I don't want to see that shit on my fucking birthday."
Oh my God! What is wrong with people?
So my thing about it is, this is exactly what I mean. So why the fuck would you do that? I don't. We'll get to that part later, but I just want to let you know, like, just how this stuff happens in my community around me, literally probably down the street from me every single day.
Yeah.
So
No, you're right. Everything don't get recorded.
everything ain't gonna get recorded. Me personally, I've never. Well, let me take that back. I won't say I've never been gay bashed. Nothing has been like very severe, but when it comes to the industry, I do get turned down a lot because of me being gay. Like, so, say for instance, if somebody wants to, um, hire a makeup artist for a rapper's music video, and I'm just throwing out a random name. This is not a real name, but say for instance, if Future was doing a music video and he had female models in the music video, and they want to book a makeup artist here, but shoot the video in Barbados. If they find out that I'm a guy and I'm gay, they're gonna be like, find somebody else. I don't give a fuck how good he is. And it has happened to me so many times because the booking agent will book me and confirm me and then come back and say they had to go another route.
Really? Now, does this happen? Have you ever gotten to the site where you are hired to work and that happened?
I haven't. I haven't gotten to a site, and I've gotten to a site for work, and it was for a rapper, and he like said something to somebody who he thought that it would be okay for him to say that to, and then they popped off loud enough for me to hear it. So I kind of like side-eyed it, like, why are y'all over there talking about me? Like, what did I do?
And why does it matter? And then my thing is, okay, first of all, like the like, let's say they doing an offsite video. I'm assuming they probably want a woman because, like, again, would you be doing that rapper's makeup, or whose makeup are you doing for them to even
No,
care?
I wouldn't even touch them.
Yeah, dang,
Most
that's
rappers,
crazy.
most rappers don't even wear makeup. Like, I've even worked with rappers and R&B singers who do wear makeup and had no problem. Like, I did Bow Wow's makeup twice, and no, not an issue
And
at
you
all.
called me when? Got it. I had to find out on Instagram, but we ain't gonna talk about it because this is a way bigger issue.
So, in my defense, I found out when I got there. I ain't know.
Well, I could have found out when you got there too. No, I'm just playing. Wow. So
I
what?
I get discriminated in the workplace, and I think that the unfair part for me is I do express this a lot to my female counterparts in my industry, and a lot of the times they always fire it back on me or on us, because they're like, That's not true. I don't believe that because girls automatically come to y'all and they want to get their makeup done by a boy over a girl and da 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 da.
That's
And I'm like, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking
I
about.
hate when people say stupid stuff like that. Maybe you do that, but that you're not the only one. And we're not talking about girls. Actually, we're talking about the industry in general, which is a male-dominant industry.
Yeah. So that's definitely where I would experience some discrimination against my
What do
sexual.
they say when they cancel with you? Do they be like, "Oh, we had a change of plans," or what?
Literally just say, hey, we're going a different route. If something else
That's
opens up,
crazy.
we'll come, and this is something that I will probably clear my whole schedule for.
Yeah.
They'll fight with me about paying a cancellation fee, but it's just like I don't have, so now I'm missing out on money because
Yeah, it's like taking
my
food from
person
your
and
mouth.
so pay me. That's the least you can do.
Do
And
you
that,
feel? Oh, my bad.
no, go ahead.
Do you feel like you target specific clients to avoid that, or do you just kind of put yourself out there and see what happens?
So I don't necessarily target. Okay, let me take that back. When it comes to celebrities, like when it comes to my regular clients, I can't. It's hard for me to screen them because half of the time I don't know them. More like 85% of the time I don't know them, especially if they're a new client. I can't really screen them. But when it comes down to celebrities and if I want to work with somebody, I definitely would go with somebody who I know that I can be 100% comfortable around. But when they inquire my services, of course, I'll do it. I don't think I've turned down 2 people. I have 2 people on my list that I will not do work for. We'll
Well,
talk about that later.
one of them I want to contest, but it's all good.
Oh, well, I took that person off.
Oh, really?
I took that person off, and the only reason why is because I feel like I was being judgmental from a situation that did not happen to me.
Yes. Yes.
For one, so I have to make my own perception. So that's why I'm like, so no. But it's 2 people that I definitely will not service anymore, just because I feel like, yeah. But I give my clients a hard time too, and I make sure that they know that I'm pro black, pro gay, pro trans, pro ho, pro everything. Okay,
Period. I'm pro everything too.
because I mean it's like, why are y'all separating things? It's so fucked up
It's
because
not
I'm
even that deep. It's like literally, you ain't never gonna see me have sex. So what I do when I'm not
has
doing your
nothing to
makeup
do
ain't
with
got
it.
nothing to do with nothing. Literally
Yeah.
nothing.
Any
Unless I have made you
photographer,
uncomfortable by crossing lines of personal space or touching
yeah,
you or making remarks towards you, that has nothing to do with what you hired me to do.
yeah. I I definitely hire photographers who either are gay or in the LGBT community, or that are allies for my community or comfortable with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
as it
saying?
should
Like
be.
I just have to make sure that my space is comfortable at all times. So
Have you ever felt like you had to and this, I hope this don't sound problematic, but you had to not be as obviously gay, have tone down your personality or the way you look to not deal with stuff like that? Like for me, there's been times I see a group of dudes and I'm like, I'm not walking that way. I'm not about to deal with it unless I got on like an oversized t-shirt and a cap and gown.
yeah. Um I think there's for like at the age I am now, I definitely feel more comfortable just being myself, but I do feel kind of iffy going to certain hoods when I know because most of the times I just have on sweatpants and a t-shirt. So,
Yeah.
that doesn't read gay, because of course people will be like, oh, and you know what also I hate too? I ain't mean to switch the subject, but I do hate when I get female clients or just friends in general that always tell me, I'm so glad that you're not over the top and you don't dress
We need to talk about that too.
or
Yeah.
you don't dress feminine. Da, 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 da. But I'm like, what if I want to? Like, it's definitely been times where I've worn makeup, I've worn girl clothes. I still wear girl clothes here and now and then.
Yeah, and it's like now that you said that, I'm kind of uncomfortable to even come around you when that happens. So now I am worried.
Yeah. And
What?
what about
What
my
is?
friends? What about my friends and my trans girlfriends or people that I know? What about them? Like, what now? I know for sure that you're gonna have an issue with that, and you got to issue with them. You got to issue with me. We one in the same.
Speaking from someone from my position, what do you think that like Black women should do to be better allies with gay men? Because one thing I've seen a lot, and I think I just have, it's I don't really, obviously I don't have I am an ally. Like I don't,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
whole
yeah,
circle been gay since been gay. But and I don't even mean to use that point, but if people know me, they know, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Anyways, I think the reason why I asked is because I feel like sometimes people look at gay men as like accessories. Like they be like, "Oh, I want a gay male best friend," or "I need a gay uncle." It's like as if like you something to go pick up and pack in the book bag overnight.
yeah. Um, for one, don't do that.
Yeah,
And I think that the main part is to just ask questions because I mean it's the same thing with women, and I feel like the way that I view women is I definitely ask a lot of questions so that I can get a better understanding of how y'all feel and what is disrespectful for y'all, and just how to protect y'all in a way. You know what I'm saying? Even when you are not around, and I feel like as somebody in the LGBT community, I feel like that should be reciprocated. And I think a lot of times women do want to be allies and they genuinely want to help. They just don't know how to help. And the second reason, maybe not for everybody, is that they're dating somebody who is not okay with it. So because
yes,
I have had situations where they're like, of course I don't have a problem, but I just don't want to bring that around my husband or my boyfriend because I don't think that he would be okay with it, and that's not cool.
yeah, I agree.
I feel like, and the thing about me is I'm very understanding. I mean, like super understanding. So I get that we're taught, because I mean, even for me, I get that we're taught growing up that this is something bad and this is something that we shouldn't accept and this is not how you should be. And, you know, we're taught these offensive slurs to say against certain groups of people. But everybody's not as strong minded to grow up and grow out of that or even have a mind of their own. So it that's when you have to kind of step in, and instead of chastising them, you got to kind of educate them on it too. So you don't have to like just scorn your boyfriend or husband just because they are that way, but it does help if you do try to educate them on it. And if they not, then I mean that's up to you if you want to leave them or not, because I'm not saying break up with your homophobic boyfriend, but
But do that.
do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I mean, what if y'all have kids and they come out gay? What happens?
Listen, I ask that all the time. I know some people who are like, don't do that because I don't want my kids turning out gay. And it's like they're gonna be gay if they're gonna be gay. You know what I'm saying? And you perpetuating that kind of thought process is gonna make them. It's like that's how people end up being in the closet and being afraid to come out to their family because they don't want to be judged or rejected. It's like,
Yeah.
but I know for myself, even though I have always been surrounded by people that are identified as gay or trans or things of that nature, I used to have a mindset that was like, I like them, but I don't want my kids to be that way. But that just came from a lack of understanding. Like and I mean, this was like early 20s. I know a lot better now, but I think at that time
Yeah.
I was going based off religion. Like I'm not judging a
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
a sin to do this and you know what I'm saying? I just learned today that it wasn't up until the 40s that homosexuality was even in the Bible. Like apparently it was
Yeah.
replaced
Yeah.
with it replaced a term that referenced pedophilia, which I never knew this. Obviously, I wasn't born
Yep.
in the 40s, and neither was my mother. But it's just really a shame how these things have control, like our mindset of human, like people who are literally human beings. Like the Bible also talks about not judging people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And who is without sin cast the first stone. And y'all got a handful of rocks. So what's
Listen to
good?
me. None of my family. I'm grateful to not have homophobic people in my family, or at least publicly homophobic
Yeah.
um, people. But I did have a moment where I was being judged by one of my aunts, and I had to let her know. I'm like, I understand that you are trying to be a mother of the church, and you are up your pastor's ass, but your pastor is definitely smashing like 4 people in the church. Okay, let's start there. You've never been married, and you have 6 kids,
And it's like, so out of all the
and
sins in the Bible, that's where you draw the line at?
this is where you draw line, and you do crack.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't get that either. Yeah, I see, and that, oh my God, people really don't even have a reason why they don't like gay people. Like I just don't want that around me.
I don't
What
do
is
this.
it? I don't accept it. You don't gotta accept. It ain't up to you to accept. Friend?
Yes, I'm is. So I do have a few things I do want to bring up. So are you familiar with the Hood Healer on
You know
Twitter and
what?
Instagram?
Yes and no. So I've seen that username before, and recently apparently that person deleted their account.
Yeah. So initially one of my friends, both of us, he kind of introduced me to like spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So like just the meaning behind certain crystals, and then we both like visited stores, crystal stores together. We bought sage, and I just kind of sat in there and kind of talked to people um who've been indulging in that lifestyle for years, and just kind of getting a little insight on it. I got like pamphlets and stuff from them, and me and him used to hang out. We're not cool anymore, but he introduced me to the Hood Healer, and he was explaining to me like, he was like, I feel like she's A1, and she's definitely spiritual, but she comes from a real life perspective. It's not so green. Like she comes from the hood, so she understands. But when I visited her page, something ain't right with her. It was real hotepy over there. So I never followed her. I just glimpsed at it, and I told him, I'm like, I don't like, I'm not into it. If that's what you into and that's your style, but I'm like, it's very hotepy on that page, and that ain't me.
I just thought about something. I think she had when I went to the 29 rooms. I think she had like an exhibit there. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
But anyway,
she's very, very well known.
okay, yeah, it was
Very
the
well known.
Refinery 29.
So during this time, um somebody brought up, since of course all of the killings that's going on with the police, people were bringing up the killings of trans women and the killing of gay men, and even though it's not all of them weren't killed by police officers, just like how these black men and women were. Some of them were. Like I remember recently, a trans woman, she was like stripped of all her clothes and beat to the not well, I don't think she died, but she got beat really
I
bad.
know
Like
who you're
her,
talking about.
yeah,
She light skinned, like real skinny.
yeah,
Yes, I
and
did see
by
that.
police officers. So this is something that happens all across the board. Trans women get killed in prison
Yep.
because they put trans women in the same prison as men.
Yep.
So they get abused, they get killed. Nobody says nothing about it. So a Black Lives Matter situation is a black trans,
Yeah.
like it's for everybody.
It's the
It happens.
same. They still, yeah.
But she made a comment and said you were black before you were gay.
Oh my God.
And that just, and keep in mind, she ended up like posting a video. Um, I don't even know what it was that kind of just drew me in, but I ended up following her on Twitter because I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she ain't that bad. Let me just get
Yeah.
in. So I made that big mistake because soon as a week later, that's when she had posted that tweet. And I was just like,
Crime is still
oh,
up.
yeah. So then she, of course, got attacked, and she was trying to um, justify it and just say like, oh, I don't have anything against. Da, 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 da. That's always what people say, and it's like, why do y'all have to kind of? I don't get it. I don't like how people just separate it as if we are aliens. Like
Right.
that's how people like approach the situation. It's like, oh, I respect it. Okay, so what if I said that to you? Like I don't
Right.
date females. Like
I
I
don't want no
respect you
street
being
clothes around
straight.
me. Yeah.
I don't, I don't really do that straight shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like no,
see that a lot. The people talking about, oh, I accept it, I respect it,
I
but
don't need
what?
you to. Yeah. So she ended up deleting her page. She didn't get it deleted. She just deleted it herself, I guess, because it was just overwhelming. I don't know. But it just situations like that. From my point of view, people that think, because she's not the only person that has said that or online that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And people really do feel like that, like you were black before you were gay. Okay, cool.
Well, how
But
can you say that though? Like people are born gay. That's accepted.
people are ignorant. These are the same people who I saw on Instagram a few weeks ago when a man was bleeding and somebody said that he had AIDS and they started running from him because they thought.
Oh, did I see that? I think I did see that. Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? It's like people just don't educate themselves and they just listen to word of mouth from people who their
People like being
parents
the
and
bully, man.
grandparents.
How
Yeah,
can
they
the
like
oppressed
being
be
bullied.
oppressors? I don't get it.
I don't know. So she's definitely canceled in my book. Now I'm a person that I rarely try to cancel people because I like to give people,
A
like I
chance.
said before on previous episodes, I like to give people a little room to mess up because I mess up here and there, and I say things that I don't necessarily mean. I just be a little ignorant, and I should watch my words before I say it if I don't know nothing about it. But sometimes it's just my opinion on certain things, even if it is ignorant. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't really judge, but I mean, I think that for me, canceling her is because I didn't really see it to begin with.
Yeah, so it wasn't even hard to do.
Yeah, I ain't really care for her anyway. So that was just the thing. I also, from a different perspective, um, more recently in the LGBT community, the conversations of not of gender has been coming up. So a lot of people identify as non-binary or even people who don't look trans. Like say for instance, you were born in a male body and you still look like a male, but you identify as female or them or they
Mm-hmm.
because those are just the pronouns that you go by.
Mm-hmm.
That conversation came up recently. Now, from my point of view, I don't really know too much about that because I personally don't identify with that. I identify with being uh, cisgender male.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't discriminate against it because at the end of the day, for one, why is it any of my business what you do? That's number one. And out of respect, that's just and I try to this is how I explain to people because I think that one of the most ignorant things is to misgender somebody and out of just disrespect.
Yeah, like if
And
they correct you, then that's what you need to be saying what they said. Like
yeah,
call me what I told you to call me.
yeah. And what's the harm in that?
Yeah, it's like somebody saying your name wrong. It's like no,
I
call.
literally I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that's the same thing as like you growing up and you go by a nickname and everybody knows you by this nickname. And of course, there's always gonna be that one person. Well, I don't know Draco. I know Chris. That's who I grew up knowing. So that's what I'm gonna call you.
Like no, I actually
What's the harm with
go
calling
like
me
the
what I
gun.
want
Don't
to?
make me use it.
Yeah, like what's the harm in calling me what I would want you to call me?
Exactly.
Like,
It's almost like them trying to have some kind of control over you. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah, like
you
I don't know
literally
that
are trying to
person.
be funny. Like now,
Exactly.
when I don't answer to you, now you're gonna have a problem.
So the author J.K. Rowling.
Oh,
Um,
I'm glad you're sharing these things because some of these topics I did see trending, but sometimes when you click on the trending topic, it's just a bunch of people asking why it's trending. So I'm like,
yeah. So the author J.K. Rowling, she ended up coming on Twitter and just expressing her thoughts on basically just her thoughts on
mm-hmm,
gender assignment and gender. And I don't know what her previous comments were, but apparently she said some real transphobic things before. But this particular tweet or these three tweets that she said, um, they didn't bother me because honestly, that it was just her perspective, and she didn't say anything disrespectful to me.
yeah,
Now, this may be because it doesn't affect me or what, but I'm gonna just read it and you tell me if I'm wrong. So she said,
trying to get me canceled.
I mean, it's a show. It's
I'm just playing. No, I don't have a problem voicing my opinion because I'm gonna have some
yeah,
facts to back it up. Uh-huh, or try.
yeah. So it's kind of lengthy. She said, if sex isn't real, she said if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. That was one.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that women like me who have been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e., male violence, hate to trans people, hate trans people because they think that sex is real and has lived consequences is nonsense. I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on a basis of being trans at the same time. My life has to be shaped by being a female, I do not believe it's hateful to say so. What do you think about it?
So who's erasing sex?
So she's just basically saying that how people, I guess she's coming from a women's rights perspective, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she's feeling like people who are, because a lot of people who identify or support the non-binary community and trans community, they also they have some people, not all, they also say that we should erase the idea of sexes, like gender reveals need to not happen. That's how they
I
feel
don't like
about it.
those anyway, truth be told.
They always bring up like gender reveal parties for babies, um and just, I guess, sex in general, you know what I'm saying? But I think that her perspective, from what I'm reading, and I could be wrong, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that from her perspective, what she's saying is that she does respect the trans community, and she respects, and she will fight for them if they're discriminated against. But she's just saying that she doesn't like the fact that people are trying to take away male and female.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's trying to do that. Also, there's a difference between sex and gender.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, sex is your biological makeup. Gender is how you are, and that's why they say you're cisgender. Like they're saying, like based on your biology, you are a male, you are a woman, and so
Yeah.
people might have the genetic makeup of, or the of the sex of male or female, but they might not feel that way, and so that's why they wish to be identified that way. I mean, I respect her opinion, and I do
You
understand what
do.
she's trying to say, but Twitter ain't the place for those kind of opinions, unfortunately. I feel like, like even if I felt that way, I wouldn't even put it on Twitter because it's like it's not gonna be received well. I mean, you asking the entire globe
Yeah.
to be like, I agree. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Yeah.
she should be
Yeah.
canceled for that though. I just think that I am concerned with what matters for women, and that's just what it is. I'm not a
Same.
male. I don't identify as a man. I don't consider myself, they, them, or
Yeah. Yeah. Me either.
so
But
I mean,
I also am not opposed to it, and I also don't discriminate against it, and I definitely will respect anybody's wishes to be called.
right. My
If
thing is be who you
I heard it.
are. And that's totally,
Yeah,
I don't care. But I don't really see what she said wrong. I mean, and it is an opinion. It's not like whatever. Yeah, I mean, I never read Harry Potter books, and that's not true, actually. Let me not say that. But I definitely am against the gender reveals, even though that's not necessarily the exact same subject. I just think that it's kind of weird to be excited or not excited about what kind of baby you're gonna have. You should just be happy to have a healthy baby. And I think it
yeah,
sucks because I've seen some videos of people who literally stormed off because of the gender. And I'm like, what if your child see this one day? Kids already deal with rejection issues as it is. Okay,
yeah,
you ain't even
yeah.
want me. You ain't seen me yet. Dang, I might look like you.
But just like in the Black community, in the gay community, is also discrimination within our community, in the Black gay community, and that really bothers me as well. I feel like elitism plays a big part in our community, and I can also like admit my wrongs and admit that at one point in life that was me. And then also film shaming. I think that guys who Black guys in the gay community, they all go for more manly guys. If you're not in the gym and you don't dress a certain way, it's always that. But I think that what I've noticed is that those type of men that do that go to the gym and they grow their beards out and they wear their Balenciaga shirts that's 2 sizes too small and all of those types of things that they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they still go out and I catch them voguing and doing a thing and
Duality,
using
baby.
yeah, and using a certain lingo, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think that what the problem is that I see them do that out, and then when they get around people that they like or who they're dating, they act a certain way, and I don't think that's fair.
Like trying to
I think
suppress that side.
yeah, I can honestly say that as long as I've been out and just dating, I've always been myself. I've always expressed that I've had a very bright side. Like I've always wore extravagant clothes and makeup on my face and paint and color hair. Like I've always been a very expressive person by how I feel at the moment. Like sometimes I feel like that. But I've also experienced within my relationship, somebody who initially I guess was okay with it, and then after a while they were just like offended by the fact that people supported me because of how expressive I was and how open and free I was, and they made me feel bad about it, and I stopped doing it.
Yeah,
Like
that's not.
it
I've been there. I mean, not in that
really made
same
me feel something.
situation. I've definitely suppressed my personality for a relationship before because of their reaction. I'm just like, but I should never did that. But they convinced me that I was tripping.
Me.
Yeah, you should never have to
Like to
do
the
that.
point where like because he was more manly than I was, and he was just like, I can't even believe the words were exactly, I can't even believe that people are really supporting a nigga with makeup on, but they're not supporting what I got going on. Some real shit.
Oh my God, a gay man said that?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, they like me because they like me and what I do. They don't like you because you not likable. And what you putting out is not good. So
It made me feel so. It made me feel so small. It made me feel so insecure. It made me
oh my
feel just
God.
like a whole bunch of things. And I think that after that, I just kind of like locked up and just.
Yeah.
It really made me change who I was, and I always look back and I regret it because, for one, I felt like that was just what drew my audience in, because they liked the way I express myself and express my art, and I liked it, and I felt like it was fun. It was me, but I think that since when that happened, I just kind of lost myself, and then of course it took a while for it to come back. But that's why I'm so big on just being yourself, and like just people taking up for themselves. Just like, don't date people that treat you like that, and don't let them make you feel bad for doing that.
Exactly. If you
Don't be
can't be
friends with people
yourself,
like that.
man, imagine pretending to be something you're not for the sake of love. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and or to the sake of looking like you have something that you don't. And I feel like I really want to take that. It's hard to do that by yourself, of course, but I think that I just want to make a space here in particular, because when I visit other cities, I will say that it's very different, in a sense of, when I go to other cities and I visit like the black gay scene, they do what they want to do, baby. They wear basketball shorts and Jordans to the club, and they be in there. In Atlanta, you gotta get your whole head to toe, Margiela,
You gotta be
which
ready for New York Fashion Week,
that's
honey.
what I'm saying. You gotta have your pieces together all the
Yeah.
time, and ain't nothing wrong with that, because sometimes people genuinely like to be fashionable.
Yeah.
And I get that, because I mean, I'm that type of person too, but I feel like clubs aren't meant for that. And that's in the straight community too, because people break their neck, scam, do everything they need to
Do
do.
the most to come home smell like cigarettes.
Yeah. So I think that in my perspective, it just takes the fun out of it. It's like people go out to kind of release. Like you had a long week at work, or some shit happened, you broke up with your boyfriend, some shit happened at your job, or either something good happened, you got a promotion, you got a new
Yeah, let
job.
it out, express
All right,
yourself, have some
you just
fun.
going to express yourself and to celebrate and just release. And I feel like it's become a popularity contest, and I think that um even like the people that are around me sometimes, they're always shocked at the type of stuff that I have, or the type of things that I put on, or the type of things that I like, because I don't get hyped up off of certain things like they do. Like
Yeah.
I get hyped up more off of creativity. Like your outfit can cost $5, but if you that thing is going off and you cut it up and it looks neat and
You
it's
cover up
polished,
that Fat Farm logo, baby girl.
you know what I'm saying? I like creative shit. So I think that Atlanta is just brainwashed. But I just really hate that for us, because we already disrespected by,
I know it's like subclasses within a class. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
And mind you, we already have that in the black community as itself. So now not only do we have it in that, but we got it in the black gay community. So my fight is not just for black people. It's like I gotta go for it. gays, then black people against white people.
Yeah, do you think it's possible to be in a world where these things aren't happening? Because I always think about this, that like we're fighting for our rights to be accepted by society, to not be killed by the police, to not deal with so many things we deal with. But I mean, even though we have people who've spoken up and shown that they stand with us, quote unquote, whatever that means, it's like, are we really gonna get what we're looking for?
Yeah, and I think that realistically, this is so sad. It almost makes you feel like you have to kind of learn to be immune to certain things, just for your own mental sake. And
Yeah.
I think that people need to stop like chastising people for feeling like that, because I think that when people be not necessarily neutral to situations, but they kind of have to, just to keep their sanity and their mental in order, they have to kind of like just detach from it. Like, don't force people to do stuff like that. Like, I saw so many people like, oh, you ain't get up and go protest.
Yeah, if it's forced, I don't want it. And I don't think people should feel obligated to do certain things to prove they're an ally, truth be told. Like, I don't think because somebody didn't post that they don't support us. I do care about that, but I don't think I'm like, oh, you ain't go to the protest? Get out of my face, please.
Yeah. I had so many people ask me that, and I'm like, no, I said I donated, but I donated directly to people's pockets.
Yes, please do, because there's been so much stuff coming out about these organizations. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Let me say something. Y'all can post, open your purse all you want, so I'm not.
I use Apple Pay anyway.
Yeah, I'm not opening my purse. So I definitely, today, I saw that some of my friends who are true allies, both male and female, and just how hard they advocate for the Black and the gay community. I just seen, they were going through some things. So I was like, let me just send you some lunch money.
I do the same thing, and I know they always be so shocked, but it's like supporting the Black business. There we go, right there, buy their product. Yeah,
I'm going directly to the source. I mean, that's just like, I'm not donating to no food bank. I can literally just go get food and take it to the homeless directly to them. If that's what I want to do. That's just the type of person I am. I watch too many documentaries on Netflix about how these cap-ass organizations like Red Cross Fund, or Red Cross Blue Shield, whatever the shit called.
And hold on now, I'm with Blue Cross Blue Shield now.
Is it called what? So is it
Red Cross and then Blue Cross? Red Cross is the health organization, and then Blue Cross Blue Shield is medical insurance.
Obviously, I don't know that.
No, I'm just messing with you, but that is the case though. But it's cool.
Yeah, like I watch how like the National Cancer Society and all these other organizations.
But you know what? I think that I say this about pastors. Like, you see all these pastors that are at these mega churches, they're millionaires. It might have started off as being a role of passion, wanting to spread the word of God. But that go out the window once you get bigger and more powerful. You start being interested. And I think these organizations might have had good intent from the beginning, but that's not the case today. And we can't do nothing about it. We just see them stamped on every goddamn thing, so people naturally give their money there.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely just go straight to the source. I think that overall though, I think that my contribution, or just my advice to people who don't know what to do, or who are confused, or who want to help, or want to be an ally, or just want to support, I think that the main thing to do is to just ask somebody directly. I mean, you can always Google stuff, but I mean, I think that everybody at this point at least knows one gay person or one trans person.
And if you don't know one, they probably afraid to let you know. So you need to stop acting like you homophobic.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be homophobic.
Yeah, and I think that that's so crazy that I this is my point about it. Don't be so caught up on, oh, y'all dudes need to stop being DL. If you're like that, then you don't need to be homophobic to people who are actually gay, because that's actually the reason why they are DL. Like, you're not helping the situation at all.
Exactly, they're afraid. Let me tell you something. So many of my friends have come out to me over the years, and I always knew. Yeah. But I always tried to like make them like, anybody who, I mean, there was a point in my life where dudes would literally tell me I hang around too many gay boys and they ain't want to date me. Or I've had people tell me that I was never going to find a man because I had too many gay friends. But the point that I'm making is that they should see that I do not care about their sexual preference. Like, it's not even, it's really a pure coincidence that most of my friends gay. It just happened.
It just happened like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like, you know, I don't treat it as like an accessory, but I hate that people even care that much. Like, to me, it's kind of like somebody could say, oh, he act gay, right? But people act shy, act nervous, act ratchet, act polished. You know what I'm saying? So what's the problem? Like, what is the problem?
Yeah, I hate stuff like that. I hate when people say, just because somebody has like really good English, they talk white.
Yeah.
Or they act
And I
white.
hate that people should get out of there. You know what? I learned that in, I want to say the 11th grade. My Spanish teacher, Miss Bryson from Thera High School. Where's good? Tina Bryson. If y'all know what she is, I try to find her on social media, can't find her. But I remember someone said that she talked like a white girl and she snapped. And she was like, you know, just because I talk educated, you should not associate educated and polished and enunciation with being white. You know what I'm saying? And you know us, we can talk how we talking now, but when it's time to go, we can switch it up. There's no such thing, quote unquote, as talking black. Now, there is a vernacular that we have amongst our community, but because I pronounce my word and I use the R's and the T's, that does not mean I sound white. Like, get that out of your head. That's brainwashed. It's like saying somebody with a mixed child has good hair. All hair is good hair. You need to love yourself, for real.
Yeah.
She taught me that too.
Yeah, I'll definitely hear that even to this day, like within the past few days. But that's neither here nor there. I and I feel like people shouldn't feel bad for not knowing this stuff, and I think that people have to stop making people feel bad because some people learn at their own pace and people learn on their own time.
That's
You
Twitter
have to be
culture,
in the
man.
yeah, like people just automatically assume that you're just supposed to know this shit. I would say even for me, like more recently, I've came to a realization that I, without even knowing it, associate um being rich or wealthy or luxury things with white people.
That's how, but you know, that's how it is in the hood. They be like, I'm trying to move in the white folks' neighborhood, or I'm
Yeah,
trying to get this white folks' money. That's give yourself the assumption that black people aren't successful or can't be successful, which is not true,
exactly.
especially in Atlanta.
Exactly. And I never said it in that way. Like I never came out of my mouth and said, "Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure I have. I
the
know
white
I have.
like white people got more money." Da, da, da. I mean, not well.
Yeah.
I definitely said I feel like white people are born rich. I said stuff like that. But I do feel like I've associated certain things in the way of life, especially one of them being, oh, I'm not gonna like me saying like I'm just finding me a white boy because these black men ain't gonna do it for me. I said that before, and
Yeah. Oh,
now I
you
look back.
meant it, or it wasn't a joke?
I feel like it was a joke because I don't think I could do that. But we
It
not
just
gonna.
sounded good in the moment.
It sounded
But you. What I was about to say. What about Joanne the scammer? Because she really got people talking about Caucasian living and get out my Caucasian house.
So that is definitely a parody.
Yeah.
Just to give a little insight on who Joanne the Scammer is. She used to be on MySpace, and his name on MySpace was Miss Prada, and he used to make music about like crazy, funny stuff. So he always been like a jokester. He did do porn for a little bit, but he always been like a jokester. That whole, I almost knocked stuff over. That whole persona is like basically a parody against white people.
Okay.
Or people who are black that really think like that. I think we all have met people who just anything that white people do, they try to do it just to
Uppity
seem like that,
blacks. That's what they call them.
better.
Uppity Negro. Just kidding.
I
Don't.
think that's what he gives with that character, Joanna Scammer. It's like I'm doing what I got to do to to obtain these things just so I could be in the same conversation as these white people because they're better than us. Like, get out of my Caucasian home.
Yeah. Do you think, how do you feel, just speaking on that, how do you feel about people that say homophobic things in comedy? You know, people were really not trying to hear nothing that Dave Chappelle had to say on his stand-up that was released last week because of some things he said that was transphobic or homophobic. Do you think can it be accepted when it's in comedy? Is it violent? Because I feel like because of social media, I I have been kind of made to feel uncomfortable about stuff like that. But there are so many things that are joked about that I wonder, like, does this count too, or how? Like,
So
how?
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get canceled for saying this, and I'm ready to take the charge at this point. But I feel like the history of comedy. Okay, the history of comedy, we pick it. They make jokes about poverty, being poor, being
Being
black.
black.
What? Why is it that, you know what I'm saying? Like, why
Yeah.
is it that they can't make jokes about that? Now, realistically, it is it is certain stigmas behind certain comedians being homophobic, like Richard Pryor um was exposed. I mean, he's dead now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found out within like 2 years ago, or within the last 2 years or a year, that he was very homophobic, and he even um canceled this guy's stand-up show because he was gay. He was opening for him,
Mm.
and he said that the guy, I don't even know the comedian's name, but he said that Richard Pryor found out that he was gay, and he had his manager go tell him that he can go home. They gave him his check still, and said that he didn't want to go on stage after a faggot. That's what he said.
And you know what's sad? That era.
Quincy Jones came out and said that Richard Pryor was gay. So
Well,
Quincy
that's
Jones,
not a coinkydink.
and that's usually the case. Not all the time, but that's usually the case.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, and I
But
obviously don't feel like
I honestly don't. Just to answer your question though, I honestly don't feel like it's off limits. I don't think that people should. If anything that's off limits, I think that sexual abuse jokes, like jokes about drugging people, those type of things, molestation, child abuse, those type of things are off limits. But actual gay jokes, I don't, or trans jokes or whatever, I don't think that it's not offensive
if
to
it's
me.
not like perpetuating violence or
Yeah.
harming somebody. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, you're right though, because I just think that everything is triggering to somebody.
Everything.
And it's
Exactly.
kind of tough to entertain people because people look to entertainment for a sense of non-reality, like,
Yeah.
outside the norm. So it's kind of like tough to, like, oh, construction paper is so hard, made out of wood.
And
Nah.
and I'll be sitting there like,
This guy sucks.
yeah, I mean, because like you said, everything could be triggering to certain people. Like, I could say something about tomatoes, and somebody be like, "Oh my God, please don't say that. I got hit in the eye with tomato when I was 12."
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that you just aren't going to be able to avoid with people.
Yeah, I just think that just comes with this era of awakening that we're in. It's also over awareness and more sensitivity than normal. So it just kind of comes with it. We want more acceptance in other aspects, and we got to expect a lot of other things to be considered off limits for some people. But my thing is, if it entertains you, it entertains you. I just don't want anything to be bringing harm to my life and the people that are around me or I care about. And because I think the things that people say and do for entertainment do cause an impact. They love to say video games don't invoke violence. Well, why little kids shooting toy guns at people? You know what I'm saying? So, I just think, honestly, y'all, just do what makes you happy. And if somebody confronts you about it, just have, be ready for an educated conversation about it and be open-minded to possibly looking at identifying a flaw or maybe an opportunity to educate back. Who knows? But I think we're in a world where there's a lot of ambiguity in every single thing we do. And there's nothing that we can do to please everybody, but you just need to do right by people and just kind of pay it forward in that way, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a society where Boosie is making a big deal about trans people and gay people, but he's also trying to put grown women on
Yes.
his 13-year-old son.
And who knows how old he was when the first time he did it. So, you know.
But it is Pride Month. Support your local. So I say local. Support support a Black LGBT person today.
Period.
Learn about it. Be respectful. Get educated. Educate other people's. And honestly, because in reality, we fight for us. We fight for y'all. And
And y'all deserve that same treatment back. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Trans
just
rights and black rights.
Because I mean, reality, we don't see the difference, but obviously other people see the line.
Yeah,
But
it's a shame.
fight for humanity. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody, who I have sex with or who you have sex with is nobody's business. And it's
Yeah.
not just about who they have sex with, but essentially that's what people's issue is. You know what I'm saying? But
Why? Which is,
exactly.
but okay.
Okay. Well, all right, y'all. That has been another episode of OD Podcast. Don't be homophobic. Don't be transphobic. Don't be black phobic. Don't be biphobic. Don't be arachnophobic. Don't be shoot, I don't know, but mind your business and drink water. Let your soul glow.
Pedialyte too.
Huh?
And drink you some Pedialyte.
And stay out of parties. Okay. Well, all right, I'm about to hit this thing.
All right, y'all. I'm out.
Bye.
Don't cancel me.